Big wasn't just Tom Hanks' breakthrough, it was the movie that defined childhood wonder for an entire generation. Released in 1988, this magical comedy about a boy who wishes to be big and wakes up in an adult's body became a cultural phenomenon that made us all want to find a Zoltar machine. But behind the iconic floor piano and FAO Schwarz magic lies a production filled with casting near misses, improvised genius, and a performance that earned Tom Hanks his first Oscar nomination. Here are 12 magical facts about Big that'll transport you back to 1988. 1. Before Tom Hanks was cast, Robert De Niro was seriously considered for the role of Josh Baskin. Director Penny Marshall ultimately chose Hanks because she needed someone who could authentically portray a child's innocence, not just an adult acting immature. Can you imagine De Niro playing a 12-year-old boy in a man's body? The guy who played Travis Bickle and Jake LaMotta? Marshall made the right call. Hanks had this natural goofy charm that made you believe he was genuinely a kid experiencing adulthood for the first time. De Niro would have been interesting, but Hanks was perfect. This role changed his entire career trajectory from comedy actor to leading man. 2. The most famous scene in the movie, Tom Hanks and Robert Loggia dancing on the giant floor piano at FAO Schwarz, was largely improvised. They rehearsed basic choreography, but most of the playful interaction and song choices happened spontaneously during filming. This scene became so iconic that FAO Schwarz installed a permanent floor piano that became one of New York's biggest tourist attractions. Hanks and Loggia spent hours on that piano, and their genuine joy playing together is what makes it magical. No special effects, no stunt doubles, just two actors having fun on a toy piano. 3. Elizabeth Perkins had to navigate the challenging task of making a romantic relationship between an adult woman and what's technically a child feel sweet rather than creepy. She played Susan as falling for Josh's emotional honesty, not his physical appearance. This is incredibly delicate material that could have gone very wrong. Perkins made Susan someone who's attracted to Josh's authenticity and lack of adult cynicism. Qualities that make him different from other men, not qualities that should remind her he's actually 13. The movie handles this better than most similar concepts by keeping their relationship innocent and emotionally driven. 4. The Zoltar machine that grants Josh's wish was custom built for the film by a prop designer who studied real carnival fortune teller machines from the 1930s and 40s. After filming, the original Zoltar machine became one of Hollywood's most sought after props. That machine is so iconic, it's been recreated, copied, and referenced in dozens of other movies and TV shows. The original prop moved through collectors and eventually sold at auction. People wanted their own Zoltar machine because we all remember wishing we could grow up faster, then spending adulthood wishing we could be kids again. 5. David Moscow, who played young Josh before the transformation, spent weeks working with Tom Hanks to match mannerisms, speech patterns, and physical movements. Hanks studied Moscow's performance and incorporated his gestures into the adult Josh character. This is method acting in reverse. The adult actor learning from the child actor instead of the other way around. Moscow would do a scene as young Josh, and Hanks would watch carefully and replicate those specific movements later. That's why the transformation feels seamless. You believe they're the same person because Hanks is literally copying a 12-year-old's behavior. 6. The movie was filmed in various New Jersey locations, with Josh's neighborhood scenes shot in Cliffside Park. The production chose these settings specifically to capture authentic 1980s suburban childhood, the kind of place where kids rode bikes freely and played outside until dark. For those of us who grew up in the 80s, these neighborhoods are pure nostalgia. Before cell phones, before helicopter parenting, when kids had independence and entire days of unsupervised adventure. The setting isn't just backdrop, it's a time capsule of what childhood felt like in that era. That freedom is what makes Josh's wish to grow up so understandable. 7. Robert Loggia's character Macmillan was written as a typical corporate boss, but Loggia convinced Penny Marshall to make him more playful, a man who never lost touch with his inner child, which is why he connects with Josh immediately. Loggia understood that Macmillan needed to be someone who recognized the kindred spirit in Josh. He's not just a boss, he's what Josh might become if he stays in the adult world too long. A successful man who kept his sense of wonder alive. That's why the floor piano scene works so beautifully. It's two people who remember how to play. 8. Josh's incredible loft apartment filled with toys, a trampoline, and bunk beds was production designer Santo Locusto's vision of what every 80s kid dreamed their grown-up apartment would look like. Every toy was carefully chosen to represent the ultimate childhood fantasy. That apartment represented the ultimate power fantasy, having adult money but child priorities. No furniture except what's fun. Every toy you ever wanted, eating whatever and whenever you want. For kids watching in 1988, that apartment was the dream. For adults watching now, it's a reminder of when happiness was simple. 9. Director Penny Marshall created a comfortable atmosphere on set where Tom Hanks felt safe to act childish and silly without self-consciousness. She encouraged improvisation and playfulness, which became the movie's defining characteristic. Marshall understood comedy and heart in equal measure. She'd been an actor before on Laverne and Shirley, so she knew how to create an environment where performers could take risks. Big was only her second film as director, but it showed her incredible instinct for finding emotional truth in high-concept comedy. She made Hanks feel like it was okay to be goofy. 10. The toy company scenes where Josh explains what kids actually want in toys were based on real toy industry insights. The production consulted with toy designers who confirmed that adult executives often lose touch with what children find fun versus what seems impressive. Josh's insights aren't just comedy. They're genuinely accurate observations about how the toy industry worked in the 80s. Companies would design toys based on what impressed other adults, rather than what kids actually wanted to play with. Josh succeeds because he still thinks like his target audience. It's a clever commentary disguised as lighthearted scene. 11. The ending where Josh chooses to become a child again was debated extensively during production. Some executives wanted him to stay an adult, but Marshall insisted the movie needed to respect the truth that childhood can't be skipped. That ending is what makes Big more than just a comedy. It's about accepting that every stage of life has value, and rushing through childhood to get to adulthood means losing something irreplaceable. Josh realizes being a kid isn't something to escape, it's something precious that ends too soon. That bittersweet wisdom gives the movie emotional depth that resonates even more as an adult. 12. Big earned over $151 million at the box office, making it the biggest hit of Tom Hanks' career to that point. His performance earned him his first Academy Award nomination for Best Actor, legitimizing him as a dramatic actor capable of emotional range. This movie changed everything for Hanks. Before Big, he was the funny guy from Splash and Bachelor Party. After Big, Hollywood saw him as a leading man who could carry dramatic weight while maintaining likability. This role paved the way for Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, and every Tom Hanks performance we treasure. Big didn't just entertain us, it gave us the Tom Hanks we know today. So there you have it, 12 magical facts about Big that proved this wasn't just a body swap comedy. It was a film about the preciousness of childhood and the bittersweet reality of growing up. From improvised piano dances to Oscar nominations, every element combined to create something that still resonates with everyone who's ever wished they were older or wished they could be young again. Which fact brought back the most memories for you? And here's the nostalgic question for the comments. If you found a Zoltar machine today, would you wish to be younger or stay exactly where you are? Let me know in the comments. If you love deep dives into movies that define the 80s and your childhood, smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. I've got more behind the scenes stories from the films that shaped who we are.